Text, 1, 2, check. What's going on, guys? Sammy one more from Sam Duchess here, back with another top 10 list for you all today. As for today's video, I'm not here to talk about what I think are the top 10 best movies of 2003. And I've done 1996 to 2002 so far, so you can check out those videos if you haven't. But let's get into 2003, another good year film with some pretty interesting ones. So, hope you enjoy. Let's get to the list, shall we? But as always, before we get to the actual top 10, let's now get into the honorable mentions. And the honorable mentions for this video is Monster, Peter Pan, The Rundown, Stuck on You, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, A Man Apart, Big Fish, Final Destination 2, The Italian Job, and Max Judgment. And those last two were definitely the hardest ones on this list, honestly, because 2023 really had a great year for a lot of great movies, especially some that I used to watch so much growing up. So, but all those films I mentioned are still fantastic and still recommended. So let's get to the actual list, shall we? And again, there been a lot of action between what's going to shuffles and number 10. Like, really a lot of choices were up in here for my number 10 best movie of 2003. But, in the end, I decided to go with Freddy vs. Jason and number 10, which, I remember watching this film. I remember watching this film a lot when I was, because it was like a period of my life where I was really into horror movies. Like, obviously I love horror movies, but I know there's like a couple of years in my life where I did nothing but want to watch horror movies and talk about horror movies and all that jazz, which I don't think I'm still with my family, but anyways, one of those films I would watch is Freddy vs. Jason. For this time, I've only seen the original and on Street, and I don't think I really have seen any of the other Friday 15 movies. If I remember correctly, I probably only seen bits and pieces. But yeah, Freddy vs. Jason, I've always loved this movie, and honestly, 20 years later, because all these movies actually are 20 years now, but this movie is still great. I mean, it was definitely one of the most hyped crossovers out there. I mean, seeing two of the most iconic horror villains face off against each other. Yeah, on that aspect alone, the film is great, and honestly, from the whole battle between Freddy and Jason, I think it's fantastic. I think it's incredible, uses the best of both of their skills, and it is amazing. Some of that, there were some fun kills before that. The characters are actually a lot more developed and a lot more fun than you would expect, at least with some decent thing. You can tell them what's actually having so much fun here. And when it comes to the kills, the fun, it really delivers on all fronts. And again, it's like I said, the whole Freddy vs. Jason actual battle is honestly what puts this movie on this list. Now, at number 9, we have Freaky Friday, the 2003 version with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. Again, about all the Freaky Friday adaptations that we have gotten, honestly, this one, in my opinion, is easily the best. Honestly, it's not even close, honestly. This one is definitely the best. Because it uses the best of the concept of having a mystical towards cars in modern dark switch bodies, two characters that have major conflicts with each other, but you actually do understand the conflicts. They're not like totally childish or just totally just like they're understandable reasons. In fact, then you see they get a little more about each other and who they are, people. Again, once gets right again, the writing and the performances between the two actors, Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Curtis, who both have incredible chemistry that really elevate the material. Because obviously it's not like the most unique concept in the world, but it's really the writing, the humor, the relationships with the characters, and again the performances between Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan is what elevates the beast still a great fan movie that's still surprisingly holds up very well 20 years later actually. Again, by far the best Freaky Friday adaptations that we've gotten. Just don't watch the 2018 Disney Channel one because that one could go I did one say, but yeah. Now, coming in, at number 8 is Bad Santa. Truly, Bad Santa is honestly one of my favorite R-rated comedies of all time. Like, this is a perfect example of how you do an R-rated comedy right. Right. I mean, I mean, you got a really great cast involved with Billy Bob Thornton, Tony Cox, Warren Grant, Brett Kelly, John Ritter, and Bernie Mac, who all delivered their comedic A game here. And while it's very vulgar and very out there in a lot of areas, you can't help but still laugh at a lot of that stuff because it isn't like too far or too in your face. And these are the characters that you at least are invested in and what goes on next and everything, and it's one that does have a lot of heart to it, as well as just simple, fun, R-rated greatness that is elevated by the rating and his great cast. That's really all I can say about Santa, but fortunately the sequel wasn't as good. You know, funny realize is that I had the original X-Men at my number 7 on my best of 2000 list. And the reason I'm saying that because X2 X-Men United is also number 7 on this list. And truly, I think this is a much better movie than the original X-Men. Honestly, and I've always loved the original X-Men. Well, it came in kind of days of memory. I still do love that original movie. And X2, I think, still is fantastic. Delivering on what made the original so great, delivering more on the relationships between the characters and what they're going through throughout. Everyone really got into their roles. This is the best interaction we've seen from all these characters, especially from Professor X and Magneto. I mean, hell, seeing them have to work together is definitely an interesting aspect, honestly. And of course, you got the amazing White House Nightcrawler scene, which is one of the best opening sequences in any superhero movie, period. And overall, the characters are great. The interesting dynamics they go through here as well are great. The performances, the humor, the action set pieces, the effects, the emotional ending, just perfection. Now, dark. At number 6 we have Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Now, something that honestly I've always enjoyed a lot of the Pirates movies a lot more than most people. Like, maybe some future times I probably even enjoyed the other sequels more than most people, honestly. A lot of them I actually appreciate more often than most people, honestly. Again, except Future Tides, honestly, that movie's not that good, honestly, but even by that, I still think that the original is still the best in the franchise, honestly, and honestly for good reason, because Curse of Black Pearl, I think, is a fantastic adventure movie. It's how you do a squad-building adventure movie right. But of course, having like interesting characters that you care about, fantastic performances, and especially when Johnny Depp as the character, who, like, this kind of a reason why they end up using this character more often in the later movies, for better or for worse, depending on who you talk to. But he was realized very well here as well. You know, he's got great characters with Will Turner, Elizabeth Swann, and Barbarossa being an interesting antagonist. You also got fantastic effects, squash-building adventures, action set pieces, and overall compelling narrative that you do care about. This is probably still by a landslide the best movie made from a Disney ride, and it's not even close, honestly, and to be honest, for good reason. Now we're in the top 5 people. At number 5 we have Kill Bill Volume 1. Another masterpiece from the classic filmmaker that is Quentin Tarantino. Who was voicing that My Play Volume 2 was kind of a lackluster disappointment, and to be honest, therefore it's probably my least favorite Tarantino movie, though I still think it's a good entry, honestly, but that should tell you how great the guy's direct. That should tell you how amazing his filmography is. Kill Volume 1 is a fantastic adventure movie with probably her best performance she has given, building an adventure narrative that you do care about, and you get some of the most bombastic, insane, incredible action set pieces that you ever seen in any movie like this, and it delivers on the fun, it delivers on the characters that you do care about, there's a revenge tale that you do care about, and it's just a badass, slick movie with incredible directing, great cinematography, and incredible performances. Now. At number 4, we have Lost in Translation. A film that, I guess, not a film that shouldn't be as impactful and emotional as it is, but again, it's elevated a lot thanks to the directed by Sofia Coppola, and also the 2 excellent performances from Bill Murray, who is fantastic here, and a very young Scarlett Johansson, who, honestly, in my opinion, still gives her best performance in this movie. Yes, she still gives her best performance ever in this movie. At least it's between this and Marriage Story. And the back and forth and the chemistry, it's really what elevates this material. It's really what elevates it to be a very compelling movie for just 2 people that just end up at. And again, it's not a film that's not really a romance. It's just really just two people just talking and saying just meaningful and interesting things, and it's very compelling. It's very well directed, incredibly well written. Dialogue is sharp and incredible. You do care about these characters and what they're going through, and the ending still gets me every time. So yeah, it definitely belongs this high on this list. Now, and number three, we have Finding Nemo. Yes, another Pixar movie to make it this high on this list. I mean, I told you guys, Pixar movies like a lot of the best Pixar movies very high on these videos, and I mean, just for good reason. I mentioned before I love Pixar honestly, and obviously a lot of them have been on the list like Toy Story 2 and Monsters Inc. And now Finding Nemo, which it's crazy. It's been 20 years since Finding Nemo came out. Like, I mean, it's crazy that a lot of these movies came out 20 years ago, but Finding Nemo especially was like, damn, because I remember, like most old Pixar movies, I remember watching the shit out of this movie when I was growing up, and honestly, in spite of this movie, like, I still debate whether or not this actually ends up in my Pixar ranking, honestly, but it's definitely a film I still come back to very often. A film I still very it has all the great aspects of a good Pixar movie, just the emotion, the heart, the one of the most harrowing opening sequences in any animated movie. Just a father basically wants to protect his son after a horror accident, which I'm pretty sure every father can relate to in some ways, but wanting to protect their child after a harrowing accident. I mean, it's definitely understandable, and the length that the father will go to is just incredible. He also got Dory, who is an incredible supporting character here, played excellently by Ellen DeGeneres. As well, we get some fantastic thrilling sequences, some great hilarious moments. Them actually not making like super fun of a Dory having like short-term memory loss. Just also beautiful breathtaking animation, great supporting cast. Just a beautiful movie that has the great messaging, the great heart, humor, and the great moments that you would normally expect in the best Pixar movies. Now it's up to you people, and coming in at number two, we have Elf. Now personally, if you would ask me, what is my favorite Christmas movie of all time? Usually Elf is the one I would always go to, honestly. It's because it's from my features I've seen the most times growing up. It's from I've seen the most often. I would always constantly go back into Elf so many times. And it's hard to see why Elf is still a Christmas classic 20 years later. Again, a film that's very elevated by the excellent writing, Will Ferrell's incredible performances of an elf that you do care about, want to see what he goes through, the relationships and everything. It's one of those films that just gets me into the Christmas spirit. It always puts a big grin and smile on my face whenever I come back to it every year. Yeah, it's one of those Christmas movies I always do come back to every single year, and for good reason. Like, I always have a big grin on my face. It's humorous, hilarious, charming, heartfelt. There was some pure emotions, especially by the end of the movie. Elf is just a Christmas classic, and it definitely belongs this high on this list. It's a film that always just puts a big grin on my face, and it's the perfect movie that will always gets me into the Christmas spirit. Ho ho ho! As funny as actually two Christmas movies on this list, honestly. I didn't not realize until now, but yeah, Elf is amazing. But yeah, I knew what my number one is going to be, and if you have a approximation, I'm pretty sure you guys would know what my number one is at this point. It's Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. I'm sure you guys probably expect that at this point, honestly. And obviously, I had the other two like very high. I think Fellowship Ring was my second favorite. In 2001, just beat by Shrek. And Two Towers was my favorite one in 2002, honestly. Which that was kind of hot debate on when I was going to be number one. I have that one looking at 2003. That Return of the King was going to be number one, and it definitely is. It's definitely my opinion the best of these three movies, and it's one of the biggest, truest epics ever. Like there's a lot of films that when you do get a true epic, it's crazy that people end up comparing this to Return of the King, because plus this film also got nominated for so many awards and won so many awards, which is incredible for a film like this. It's a true epic film that brings all the storylines to a close, all the characters to a satisfying conclusion. Honestly, you get the best moments that these characters, one of the most epic and crazy and bombastic action set pieces in any film period, while having an emotional core to the story and moments that ever having the biggest payoffs in any movie you'll ever see. truthfully, I don't think I need to say more Tomb Kingers than one, because, yeah. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed me talking about my best movies of 2003. Let me know down below in the comment section, what are your favorite movies of 2003? Let me know if anything I might miss on this list. Let me know what you would put on your list. I would love to know down below in the comment section. And I know how I'm going to get these videos out, but I hope you guys have been enjoying these videos so far. I have a lot more singing content coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. And I have a couple of other type of videos coming very soon, so again, stay tuned for that. I am Nemo World from Nemo Productions. I will see you next time, and as always, stay cool, everybody. Peace.